Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen Nell. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in the show today, Jordan Tzu Chi volunteers are holding a second-hand clothes distribution to help 1,004 Syrian households. In our continuing look at the impact at the Belamonte Dam, we go to Altamira to see the problems residents are facing and those that may occur in the future. And in Malaysia, we meet committed volunteers who took part in the year-end blessing ceremony in spite of their physical conditions. In Jordan, to help the Syrian refugees stay warm throughout the cold winter, Tzu Chi volunteers organized a second-hand clothes distribution in the city of Ramtha. This time, a total of 1,004 households received Tzu Chi's help. As Tzu Chi volunteers arrived at the distribution site in the city of Ramtha, Syrian refugees are already waiting outside of the venue. In spite of the language barrier, some refugees burst into tears when learning of the love and care from around the world. At the distribution site, Tzu Chi volunteers play a clip of life wisdom to help the refugees understand that the winter clothes gathered in Taiwan are filled with respect and love. However, facing the cold weather, many lose patience. Afraid of not being able to receive the clothes, many refugees started to shove, and soon the distribution site turned chaotic. To prevent further violence, Tzu Chi volunteers form a human wall.
They were afraid of not being able to receive their winter clothes. I told them in Arabic that we are one family and hope everyone can come here happily and live happily. My job was to calm them down.
Luckily, during the chaos, Tzu Chi volunteers set up another entrance, so the distribution moved on smoothly. With winter clothes in hand, smiles were everywhere on the faces of the refugees.
I'm very thankful and touched by our Tzu Chi brothers and sisters in Taiwan. We feel the love and respect when we open the boxes of winter clothes. The Syrian refugees also feel the love and respect when receiving their winter clothes.
In the next 4 days, boxes of clean winter clothes from Taiwan will be distributed to more Syrian refugees, as the volunteers hope to help them stay warm through this cold winter. In China's Hunan province, at the winter aid distribution in Ningxiang County, Changsha City, Tzu Chi volunteers handed out aid supplies, including quilts and rice, hoping the local residents will enjoy a happy new year.
At the winter aid distribution site in Ningxiang County, some 1,000 recipients show up to pick up relief items. To help them beat the cold, Tzu Chi volunteers not only serve ginger tea, but also put on lotion to warm their hands. As the recipients pick up the relief items, the volunteers respectfully hand the packages to them one by one. Seeing the recipients who cannot carry the heavy items, volunteers rush over to help.
I'm so happy. Thank you so much.
A 70-year-old senior resident who cannot come to the site due to sickness wrote a letter to express his gratitude to Tzu Chi.
That senior resident couldn't come because of his physical disability, so he asked his wife to bring us the letter.
In the letter, he describes how profound Tzu Chi's humanitarian spirit is and how it warms so many needy people's hearts around the world. As well, one village official also wrote a verse to thank Tzu Chi.
The winter brings no mercy but coldness. The seniors feel truly helpless. The youth shiver without enough food or clothes.
Walking into recipients' homes, the volunteers further experience how desperate their living conditions are.
Look at this. Look how thin this quilt is. This is no match for the quilts we give them.
Besides quilts, Tzu Chi volunteers also hand out cotton padded jackets. Before cooking up the rice given by Tzu Ji, this recipient first returns the 1 kilogram of rice she borrowed from her neighbor. Thanks to Tzu Ji, they now have enough rice at home. Seeing the residents smile, the volunteers feel their efforts are all worthwhile.
Also in China, it has been more than 12 years since Tzu Ji volunteers first set foot in Guizhou. Recently, after a winter aid distribution in Luodian County, Tzu Ji volunteers split into teams and visited the homes of local residents. Guangdong Tzu Ji volunteers are visiting the homes of local residents in Luodian County, China. Also accompanying the volunteers is the superintendent of Minkang Hospital, Yang Changzhen. Seeing the living condition of her fellow villagers, Yang says it is her duty to lend a helping hand.
After joining Tima, I met the master and truly understand the Tzu Ji spirit, so I promised to walk the Tzu Ji path. As a volunteer in Luodian, it is my responsibility to help my fellow villagers.
At the time, Dr. Yang's mother-in-law was in a serious condition, and with the understanding from her family, she decided to still perform house calls with Tzu Ji volunteers.
It is my responsibility to perform house calls with the volunteers. Everyone around here knows me because I am a doctor, but I am still very honored to wear the volunteers' uniform.
Also performing house calls is local volunteer Wang Bangyan, who, in spite of living in hardship, says that Tzu Ji has taught her to cherish what she has.
I feel blessed when I saw the living conditions of the local residents. At least I make enough money to feed 3 people.
Wang Bangyan knows it is more blessed to give than to receive.
When I don't have a lot of money, I won't take the bus. I will save my transportation money and donate it to my bamboo coin bank. I know the meaning behind the bamboo coin bank.
It has been more than 12 years since Tzu Ji volunteers first set foot in Guizhou. The volunteers have touched the heart of many and inspired them to help those in greater need. As Tzu Ji volunteers continue with distributions in China, another winter aid distribution was carried out in Changshan district of Fuzhou province, helping a total of 745 households.
The drizzling rain does not hamper the pace with which the volunteers distribute relief supplies to local residents. Coming to receive the relief supplies alone is Chen Bingyun. As his left leg is amputated, volunteers help carry his supplies home, leaving Chen deeply moved by the gesture.
Thank you, I'm fine. It's because I'm so happy.
10-year-old Lin Wei arrived early to receive the relief supplies with his mother. Upon receiving the aid, he immediately put on a volunteer's vest to help out.
I handed out water and food and helped with the lifting. I feel blessed to help others and reduce their load.
Giving joyously with a new outlook on life is Cai Su-zhen, who is overseeing the volunteers' lunch for the day. Having had a successful business selling beef noodles in Taiwan, she sold her business upon joining Tzu Ji.
When I joined Tzu Ji, I sold my business and committed myself to volunteer work here in Fuzhou. I think this is where I'm meant to be.
This is Chen Meizhi. Once a person with a hot temper, she is now comforting the local residents waiting to receive their supplies.
I wasn't always such a pleasant person because I didn't know what love was.
During home visitations, one can see a soft and caring side to Chen Meizhi. Determined to rid herself of past bad habits, she also quit smoking.
Our master says if we want to rid ourselves of bad habits, we should do so without hesitation. So I quit smoking, and I haven't smoked since the day I threw away my cigarettes.
It can be said that respecting oneself and loving others is the most moving attribute of Tzu Ji.
Due to the construction of dam since 1950, people from around the world have faced relocation and changes to their way of life. Today, we return to Brazil for an in-depth look at Altamira residents who may face relocation once the construction of the Belo Monte Dam is completed.
Altamira, a city in northern Brazil, is facing rapid growth as a result of its proximity to the Xingu River, a main tributary of the Amazon. Brazil, planning to harvest the potential of the Amazon River, is building the world's third largest dam, the Belo Monte nearby. This has resulted in an increase in businesses and construction companies here in Altamira.
For Liu Chaoguang, he sees the developmental potential of Altamira.
There are currently 7 cities that looks promising, and this is one of them.
However, what was once a quiet neighborhood has transformed into a bustling city center.
All the rent has tripled since construction of the dam. Before in Altamira, rent for a 2-bedroom, 1 kitchen, 1 living room was 600 Brazilian real. Now it's up to 3,000.
Increases in rent is not the only problem for local residents. The influx of population and insufficient infrastructures are also issues.
From 2010 to 2011, we saw an 100% increase in child prostitution. Cases of rape and teenage pregnancy have also increased. These are indicators of declining local living conditions.
Some specialists say the water in Altamira city will raise, and about 30% of the city will be floated.
After the Belo Monte Dam is complete, it will transform the Xingu River's water level to a steady 97 meters, which means that many areas, including where we are standing now, might be flooded.
Other 70% will have many different problems because of that. One of those problems is in sanitation, because the underwater will raise, the trash will be there, like a lot of contamination is expected.
The problems of flooding and increases in social disorder are overshadowing the reasons why construction plans were put forward in the first place.
A city of 110,000 people has 0 sewage treatment. All sewage in Altamira is thrown directly into the Xingu River. So this is what Belo Monte brings development, brings health, and brings education too.
This landowner, who holds no legal documentation of the land he resides on and would not receive government subsidies should his land disappear due to dam floodings, is still hopeful regarding the advantages the Belo Monte might bring.
The enormous dams in China, which are the world's largest power generators, has greatly impacted their society and environment. We just hope the impact on our society will not outweigh the benefits of the dam.
It depends on what you set as development. I don't think building a power generator is good development because the price to pay for it economically, socially and environmentally is very high.
We need our way of living and life. We need to protect the river, water, forest, the whole environment for our next generation.
Before we left Altamira, construction at Belo Monte was called off once again. In a protest against the construction company, workers set fire to their on-site dormitory and offices at the dam. Notice was sent for everyone to go home and wait for further notice. This strike might delay the completion date of the dam, and it seems that, at the end of the day, both the success and the failure of Belo Monte Dam is contingent on people.
Tomorrow, we take a look at the potential damage building the dam may have on Amazon's rainforest. Moving to Taiwan, the Tzu Yingren Recycling Station, which was formerly a clinic of late Dr. Cai Zhongxian, opened its door to the public on January 12th.
The Tzu Yingren Recycling Station is located next to the busy market in Taipei. Under the planning of volunteers, it was decided that the recycling station will mainly collect plastic bags and the fruit wrappers.
We would go to the nearby market in the morning to encourage the store vendors to reduce the use of plastic bags. Otherwise, we will collect their plastic bags for sorting when they close.
The recycling station was once the clinic of late Dr. Cai Zhongxian. The venue, which was once used to heal pain and suffering, is now a place for spiritual cultivation.
When Dr. Tai went to Hualien for medical clinics, he left his clinic for us to do recycling. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us, but to honor his name, we will make the best use of this recycling station.
We also take blood pressure measurement as a way to bring us closer with the community. We will also have follow-up calls to see if those with high blood pressure remember to take their medicine.
Apart from recycling, blood pressure measurement services will also be available for community members. On the day of its grand opening, the Ciji Inren Recycling Station saw over 100 members of the public join in the occasion, giving it a good start for the year ahead.
Next, we meet a few of the performers who took part in the year-end blessing ceremony held by the Ciji Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter in Malaysia. Despite their physical conditions, volunteers were committed to take part in the performance. But first, we meet the volunteers who decorated the venue.
In preparation for the Ciji Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapters year-end blessing ceremony, Ciji volunteers organized a series of study groups and practice sessions at local retreats, recycling points, and even outdoor parks.
The topic we are studying today are the 5 viruses, which are greed, anger, ignorance, pride, and doubt.
Volunteers were also mindful in designing and decorating the stage, as well as ensuring the sound and lighting systems were all in place.
Planning was the most difficult part. First, the design needed to look good. Second, the structure had to be safe and to be able to withstand our weight. It also needed to be easy to use. And lastly, after we use these materials, we must also be able to recycle them.
After the stage was finally completed, volunteers then spent another 3 hours making marks on the ground.
With these markers, what's most important is that they must be accurate in order to ensure our brothers and sisters can stand neatly in line.
From the first stages of planning to the final performance, volunteers do their best in hopes of spreading Ciji's great love. To ensure they put on a great performance, over 4,000 volunteers came together to memorize all the sign language movements, as well as the lyrics of the sutra. Despite suffering from muscle atrophy, one volunteer, Yu Guoen, never missed a rehearsal session.
Sometimes I would forget or I was too slow. When you feel right about something, you should just do it. He was always very determined to take part in the performance. Though sometimes he couldn't catch every movement, he knew the lyrics by heart.
Another performer, Zheng Yuxian, who is almost blind, also took part in the sign language performance. Zheng says he's filled with Dharma joy, and he has also found serenity in his heart.
I'm here with a joyful heart to participate in the event. I believe whatever others can do, I can achieve as well.
Ye Zhenju has been on a vegetarian diet since taking part in the Buddha Day ceremony last year. And through attending the study groups this year, she has been inspired to join the volunteers' ranks.
I want to give. If someone is in need of help, or if there's anything I can do, I will give it all I can.
As the year-end blessing ceremony comes to an end, Ciji volunteers hope that in the coming year, all can commit themselves to creating a harmonious society.
The Tzu Chi Singapore chapter held its year-end blessing ceremony between January 12th and 13th with more than 7,000 participants. The event featured 4 performances of the Water Repentance Sutra put on by more than 800 volunteers and community residents.
At the 2012 year-end ceremony in Singapore, after practicing together for 3 months and going vegetarian in that time, more than 800 Tzu Chi volunteers and residents put on 4 performances of the Water Repentance Sutra. The efforts of volunteers to spread the spirit of the Dharma also moves a local Buddhist teacher.
It gave audience members a chance to reflect and change themselves, as well as to improve and uplift themselves. It transmitted to the audience Buddhist concepts, such as right knowledge and right view, as well as the wisdom and the teachings of the Buddha. If we eat these animals now, maybe in our next life, we will be eaten by them.
Thanks to Tzu Chi, volunteers learned of cause and effect. Gao Rongfa was formerly a butcher, but after joining Tzu Chi, gave up his trade. Tzu Chi's message also found its way into the hearts of audience members.
I like to stop eating meat. Because of sharing.
Yeah, I agree with him about the karma. Yeah, because basically what we do, we get back. So I don't want to end up in my next life, I might be an animal and get killed for someone else.
Every year, Tzu Chi chapters around the world hold year-end blessing ceremonies as a way to say goodbye to the old and welcome the new.
What we can change in the future to be a better person, to give more and to have a better society.
I want to be a part of something bigger, something where my participation is essential.
The lotus lamp symbolized the lightning of the Dharma in each of the participants' hearts, which in turn will bring warmth and light to more people in need.
Back to Taiwan, in New Taipei City's Luzhou district, Tzu Chi volunteers turned one nursing home into a beauty salon for a day. On site were professional hairstylists who spent the day cutting their hair for the senior residents.
In Taiwan, at this nursing home in New Taipei City, several professional hairstylists are here to give residents a first-class haircut.
I came with my coworkers. It has been great.
Today has been great. The residents here seems to have enjoyed it as well. A big thanks to everyone.
We often help these elderly residents get a haircut. When they heard that, they asked if they could come help out. Of course, we said yes. It would be great if they came, so they all volunteered to come.
In helping to give those bedridden a haircut, the volunteers and hairstylists team up, with one giving the residents a haircut and the other 2 assisting.
Since we do this for a living, how could we not join in such a great activity? We get so much joy from it. The residents look so beautiful and handsome after their new haircuts. Not only are they happy, we are happy too.
With Chinese New Year around the corner, residents here have already taken the first step in meeting it with style.
Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.